Welcome back to the Dias Cast. This is Nick. I'm Justin.
Welcome back.
We're coming at you from the Just Hammer bunker again. Last week you got to see Alex play Nick.
Yeah.
A very competitive game. I decided I need a little bit more revenge. We're continuing with our Soulblight against Destruction.
Right.
We're kind of taking a tour of all the Destruction.
And all the Soulblight.
Yeah, for sure. We're Legion of Blood today?
Legion of Blood today, a different sub-faction. I haven't played it yet. I think it's a really interesting sub-faction. We were talking about it a little bit before camera. Really bad allegiance abilities for the most part, and really outstanding artifacts. So it's kind of a different way to play the game.
What I'm most excited about is I'm bringing Giants today. And in the new GHB, we found out that mega-gargants can be battle lines.
That's right.
So for Giants today, it's going to be a quick hero phase and a quick movement phase for me. That's what I like.
You don't have to clutter up the board with a bunch of those tiny man crushers.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Go all in.
We're just getting big. So, Nick, why don't you tell us about your list?
Right on. So as mentioned at the top, I've got a Legion of Blood list, and I had to bring Neferata for the Legion of Blood. She's one of my generals, in addition to the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon, who's my other general. He's got one of those outstanding artifacts. He's got the Soulbound Garments, which gives him +1 to save, so it brings him down to a 2-up, which is really pretty good. He's also got a command trait, the Aura of Dark Majesty, that gives him -1 to be hit in melee. I've also got a Vamp Lord on foot with another one of those outstanding artifacts, and that is the Orb of Enchantment, which gives me the ability once per game to shut down a hero on a 3+ in their combat phase. Really big deal, especially against a Giants list like Justin's bringing. I also have Belladama Volga as a caster, and she's got Cogs with her as an endless spell. She's got the Levitate spell from the core book. For my battle line, I've got 10 wolves to go along with Volga. I've got 5 Black Knights that are battle line in Legion of Blood. They're not a great unit right now, but the fact that they can become battle line does make them a little bit interesting. And then my last battle line unit is a squad of 10 skeletons. And then for other units, I've got 5 Blood Knights, because I'm in love with the Blood Knights, and 20 Grave Guard, which are really the damage output in this list. As mentioned, I've got the Chronomagnetic Cogs. My battalions are a Hunters of the Heartlands and a Warlord battalion that gives me the extra artifact. The Hunters of the Heartlands is on my Blood Knights, Black Knights, and Grave Guard.
Alright, so I'm super excited to be bringing Sons of Behemat today. With the new GHB, we found out that mega-gargants can be battle lines, so I'm going to be bringing them. Just 4 big guys today. We're starting off with the Gatebreaker. He's got the artifact Amulet of Destiny, which is going to give him a 5-up after save, and he's monstrously tough, which is going to make him 40 wounds. So I'm pretty excited to see if he can just go in there and duke it out and stay alive through the game, which would be especially good because my grand strategy is Beastmaster, which means if I have a monster left at the end of the game, I achieve it. 4 monsters with at least 35 wounds. If none of them make it, I'm losing anyways. So then to round out with my battle line, I have 1 Kraken Eater. He's going to be kicking some objectives around, doing his thing, and then I have 2 Mega Stompers. That might not be their name, but it's close enough. And they are especially good at fighting against larger units because they get bonus attacks. The one bad thing about Sons of Behemat right now is it's really hard to fit them in a battalion, but 4 drops isn't bad. So, are you ready to do this?
Let's do it. We're playing the ultimate giant Sons of Behemat battle plan, Savage Games, and those boys across the table have definitely had some savage games.
Look at those legs, they're all about games.
They do not skip leg day. So I'm going to be deploying first as the attacker here. The deployment is pretty straightforward. It's within the back 11 inches, so we've got a 22-inch gap. And this one plays a lot like the old Scorched Earth or Battle for the Past sort of battle plan. So let's get into it. Good luck, Justin.
Good luck. What's that fun? Fun!
We both towed the line. Your deployment is very straightforward, just 4 big boys down the line. I've got my Vampire Lord off to one side. We'll see how he can do over there. And then the core of my force in the middle with Neferata. She's definitely different than Manfred, which I'm more familiar with and more used to. We'll see how her defensive skills come into play versus his offensive skills.
So Nick, I'm going to allow you to take first turn.
All right. Good luck.
Good luck.
I'm going to start off with the battle tactic aggressive expansion. So I need to take 2 objectives that are not wholly within my territory. I'm going to take the 2 in the center and go for those. I start with 2 command points, and the Sons player, Justin, starts with 3. In the top of round 1. My heroic action is going to be trying to get another command point, and I'll use Neferata for the effort. 4, miss it with a 3. How about you?
So I'm going to take the heroic action that allows my Kraken Eater to be a wizard.
So they will get 1 unbind this turn.
That's all he needs.
I'm going to first try to cast Cogs with Belladama. And that's going off on an 11.
Jesus. Yep, that's fine.
Okay. I'll leave it at 6. With Cogs up then, each of the wizards within 6 inches are going to get an extra cast. So that's going to be Belladama, my Vampire Lord, and my Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon. Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon is going to attempt to cast Mystic Shield. And he's currently getting that on a 6.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, he'll put that on himself. The Vampire Lord is going to try to cast Amethystine Pinions, getting that on a 7. The Vampire Lord is going to try to cast Arcane Bolt, getting it on a 5.
Sure.
Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon is going to cast Flaming Weapons. 6.
I am going to attempt to unbind this Flaming Weapons.
Okay.
That's unbound.
Okay. Belladama is going to try to cast Killing Moon, her War Scroll spell. And that's going off on a 7. So that's a bubble of exploding 6s. Neferata is going to try to cast her War Scroll spell on the Blood Knights. And that's going off on a 7. Belladama is going to try to cast Levitate with her last spell. And that goes off on a 13. So she's going to levitate on the Blood Knights. They are currently flying. I am going to spend a command point on Neferata's command ability, so that's a bubble of -1 to hit. So I'm down to 1 command point with her command ability, and we can then get into movement.
I'm going to spend a command point to move inches, move 4 inches backward.
Yep. During my movement phase, I really wanted to push up and make sure I got my battle tactic by getting those 2 objectives. I know that the swing back is going to be pretty fierce, but I do need to take some ground and score some points early. I can't just let the Gargants really roll in. Hoping to be able to get some good counterattacks. I feel relatively good about my screens and durability on both sides. Obviously, I think I'm going to lose the Black Knights and the Skeletons on the swing back here, but with as durable as the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon and the Blood Knights are, I feel relatively hopeful that they'll survive, although I've been wrong before on that, so we'll see what the Gargants can do. And I am going to keep the Grave Guard in the grave for now. So here's where we stand at the end of the movement phase. So the Vampire Lord is out of range for his shooting. I am going to attempt a charge with him. It's a long bomb, but I'll go for it anyway. And with a 3, he's definitely not going to make it. I'm good on the command point. So that is where I'm going to leave my turn, and we can go on to the bottom of round 1.
So you're going to get 2 points for your battle tactic.
Yep.
Point each for each of these, right?
Nope. So 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay.
5 total. So that puts me on 7 at the end of round 1. We each gain a command point for our general being alive.
I am going to pick the battle tactic of Conquer, which just means I need to take an objective back. I feel good about that considering, here he's got 6. I don't think the skeletons are locked to the world. And so I feel good taking Conquer this round.
Which objective are you picking for that?
I'm going to take this guy right there.
Sure.
Then I'm going to use Finest Hour this round on my War Stomp of mega-gargants that is on my left-hand side of the board.
For my heroic action, I think I'm going to go ahead and try to get an extra command point with the Vampire Lord. On Zombie Dragon, I mean. And he succeeds.
In my hero phase, I only have one thing to do. The Kraken Eater is going to roll 2d6 to kick my home objective. He's going to kick it 4 inches.
Pushes your objective outside of your territory so that it's worth more for you and less for me. Okay.
That's all I can do for my hero phase. So nice and easy. We'll go into movement. I'm just moving this guy into a prime charge position. My Gatebreaker is he's a Hulk. He's moving into the position. I want to potentially threaten the Vampire Lord here with 2 guys. What I'm kind of counting on at this point is that between my charges and my shooting, I can clear out most of the skeletons here, and then at least trap the Vampire Lord in combat, and if I get a double, maybe take him off. I know he's super good in combat, but yeah, that's the risk I'm going to take. So into shooting, my Gatebreaker has 1 attack. He's going to put it into the Blood Knights because they do have a command model. The Breaker Tribe, because I picked Idiot with Flags, gets to add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by the unit. So his 1 attack is going to hit on 2s.
That is canceled off by Neferata's -1 to attack roll.
Oh, and then they'd hit regardless. And then this is going to wound on a 2. It's going to wound at -3 round.
Okay. They are immune to rend, so
Okay.
they are on a 3-up. And they made it.
Then my Kraken Eater is going to shoot into the skellies. This is going to be 3 attacks, hitting on 4s and wounding on 3. Nope. And 2 charges. My my War Stomp on the right hand side is going to charge into the Black Knights. He's going to get in on a 5.
And he's got some impact hits, I would assume.
Yep, on a 2-up, he will do d6 for 4.
Okay. So 4 damage there.
Yep. My Gatebreaker is going to attempt to charge. He's going to get in on 8. I'm going to try to just charge him in. Not even can get it within a half inch. I think he is pulling the wolves in. It's not the end of the world.
He's not quite within a half an inch yet. Yeah, he's definitely pulling the wolves in at this point.
2 up, d6 for 5.
Okay. They've got 6 up, rerolling ones. Saved 1 of them, rerolling 3. Saved 2 of them, so 3 damage total. 1 dead. Blood Knight.
My Kraken Eater's going to charge. He's going to get in on an 8. 2 up, d6 for 1 on the skellies.
6 up, rerolling ones.
Yep. And then my last War Snapper is going to charge. He's going to get in on a 10. I'm going to go so that I can basically get in within 1 on both of these.
Sure.
He rolls a 2 up for each. He's going to first do it on the Velocita. If it's a 2 up, it's only D3 because it's a monster. Oh. No. And then on Skelly's, yes, for 6.
Okay. They've got their 6 ups. Made 2 of them, no rerolls, so 4 dead. Their coherency is taken care of.
So I'm going to do a monstrous duel with him.
Titanic duel.
Titanic.
Got it. Okay. And how about the rest of your monsters?
He's gonna stomp. That's just D3, right?
Yep. So the Black Knights are actually immune to monstrous rampages.
And the Blood Knights are as well.
The Blood Knights are as well. And the Graveguard are as
well. I should be within 3 inches here. I am going to do the where he can't use command abilities.
Okay. So roaring on the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon?
Yep. And then I will stomp the daggers.
Got it. So yes, they take mortals. Do you want to roll how many mortals they take?
Oh, okay. I thought it was automatic.
Yeah, it's a 2. So they take 2 mortals. It's 1 dead wolf. For my monstrous rampage, over here on the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon, I'm going to go ahead and take Titanic Duel as well for +1 to hit against this gentleman right here. Okay. At the start of the combat phase, I'm going to use Arcane Bolt with the Vampire Lord to do 1 mortal wound on the Gatebreaker.
On a 5 up, he'll hit 1. Nope.
Chipping away.
Slow.
How do you eat an elephant?
I'm gonna pile in over here. So he is going to give himself another +1 to hit.
Okay.
So he, because he's naturally, so I'm using the command point.
Sure.
So he'll essentially be +1 to hit at this point on his profiles.
Right. -1 to hit and +2 to hit.
Right. So I'm going to start my attacks there. I'm going to put everything into the Vampire Dragon. So Death Grip is 1 attack. Because I'm attacking a monster, I get to reroll 1s.
Sure.
So this will hit on a 2. And then it will, so this will be a 2 up. It's -3 run.
-3 rend puts him on a 4 up. And failed it. How much damage did you do?
D6.
Okay.
It was just 2.
2.
Then jump up and down is going to be 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. Oof. Wounding on 2s. -2 round.
And so 2 3-ups, this is -2 rend, right?
Yep.
So the combination of Mystic Shield and his native 1 puts him at a 1-up, and then 2 rend puts him on 3s. Made him off.
And then his last attack. So with the Titanic Boulder Club, he gets, because he's on his top bracket, he'll get 4 attacks, plus he counts the number of enemy models within 3. So that's going to be... That's just 3, 4. So he's going to have 8 attacks. Hitting on 2s. Thanks. Wounding on 2s. So it's 5 at -2.
5 at -2 are on 3-ups. And so I failed 2 of those.
4 damage.
Okay. 4 damage each or 4 damage total?
4 damage total.
Got it. So he has taken 6 so far. So 6 ups with the Deathless Minions. And he will pass one of those, so he has taken 5 so far.
And then I am, so it's not specified, so then I am going to do his hurled body. I'm going to pick one enemy model within 3. I'm just going to take one of the skeletons.
Sure.
I can't fail this. And then on a 4+, if I get a 4+, I can pick another enemy unit within, chuck it, and so this will be a 4+. Nope. So I'm going to take, doesn't really matter, I'm going to take that guy right there.
This guy?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, may seem these are within 3 inches, which is within your range, right?
Yep.
Alright, I am going to activate then with the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon first, which seems a little bit strange in this circumstance, but I think it's probably the right decision. And go ahead and move him 3 inches. And then put all my attacks into your War Stomper there.
I have +1 to save.
Okay, and I have +1 to hit. So with his Death Lance, hitting on 2s, all 3 hit, and wounding on 3s. One of them at -1.
-1, +1. You don't have any boost to your end, right?
Nope.
This is just a 4-up. Nope.
Okay, 2 damage. The Snapping Maw attacks are on 3s and 3s. All 3 hit. And all 3 wound. These are at -2.
These will be 5-ups. Nope.
Okay, d6 damage each on those. 14 damage. Excuse me, 13 damage.
Is that 15?
And then the Sword-like Claws, because of where he's at on his table, he's got 6 of these. And these are going to be on 3s and 3s. Pretty good rolls. So that is going to be 4 at -1.
These will be 4-ups. I did not make 1 save this whole time.
2 damage on each of those. That was rough.
Jesus. He's at 23.
Okay, 23 remaining.
No.
23 taken.
Yeah.
Okay. Your activation then.
I am going to go with my Gatebreaker. That's fine. Alright.
Where are you putting those attacks?
I'm going to put them into the Blood Knights.
I am going to go ahead and spend all out defense on the Blood Knights. Puts them on a 2-up unrendable.
Alright, so this is going to be 2 hitting on 3s, but I will reroll once. Jesus. Hot dice tonight.
They are -1 to hit as well.
Okay. So then the Death Grip, this will hit on a 4, and then it will wound on the 2. Rolling hot. This will be 10 attacks. These will be on 4s because I have the +1 to hit against guys with
banners. Sure.
Yes.
Not great rolls.
No.
Being
Not
honest
good.
with
And wounding on 3.
Sure. So that was 1.
Yeah.
On a 2-up unrendable.
Wow.
All right.
So I didn't make one save on that one.
Uh-huh.
And I hit one time.
And failed to do any damage over here. It's not great.
No, it's not good.
I am gonna fight next with my Black Knights. I'm gonna make their small pile-in, just get within range, and then put their attacks into your War Stomper over here. Fortunately, the Black Knights don't get any bonuses on the charge, so they're just as effective here as they would always be. Which is to say, not at all.
Not very.
I've got 7 attacks with their lances, counting the champion. And these are on 4s and 3s. That is going to be 4 at no red.
4 forks. There we go. Should have done that.
And then their hooves and teeth are 4s and 4s. So that is going to be nothing.
I'm gonna swing at the skellies.
Yeah. Yep, I will concede those 4 skeletons. I think you've got them bested. I'll then activate with my Blood Knights.
I will use all of defense here.
Okay. I can just get 3 in, but one of them is the unit champion at least. And they are wholly within Belladonna's aura of exploding 6s. You spent 1 command point on all-out defense.
Yep.
Alright, so I've got 10 swords and lance attacks. And these are on any penalties to hit here or anything? Okay. On 3s, 6s explode. And so 2 coming back. And 3s to wound. That is 6 at -1.
These will be 6 4-ups. There we go.
Made them all.
Yeah.
Things
Making
warming
for
up a
that.
little bit.
Yeah.
And then their mounts are 4s and 4s.
Wow.
And they all miss.
That was just like a game of patty cake we played. I am going to attack obviously with my mega-gargant, who is not hurt. I'm going to first attempt to do the hurled body. So I'm +4. Those are only, or +2.
They're 2 wound models.
So I need to roll a 2 up to throw one.
Yeah.
I will. I'm going to pick the one in the middle, and then I'm going to, on a 4-up, I'll be able to throw it. I'll throw it at, I don't think I have to pick something in the same unit. So I'm going to throw it at the Blood Knights, and it will just do 2 mortal wounds.
Okay, 2 mortal wounds on one of the Blood Knights. They do have their 6-up. And that is 2 damage.
And then he will proceed into his attacks. Death Grip. This will be 1 attack hitting on 3s. Jump up and down. So I do get to reroll hit rolls of 1. This will be 3s to hit, rerolling once. All hits. 3s to wound. 3 wounds at -2 round.
They have no save.
D3 damage each. For 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. They are in range of the gravesite now that a couple models have died, but that is going to kill the unit.
And then you got die rolls.
Yeah. I'm just going to get 3 of them in. That's going to be 6 4s and 4s. 6s are exploding on these. So that is a pretty good hit roll. This miss is going to turn into a hit. and then 4 is the wound. And we've got 5 of them at no red. You still have that +1 to save.
So these will be on 3-ups. And then damage.
1 damage each.
He has 5-up after. And he will take them. That's
Again,
more
chip
damage
it away.
than he did. If that makes you feel better.
Sure, it does.
So at the end, I will have accomplished my battle tactic.
Sure.
So I'll get 2 there. I will have this one that's not in mine.
So it's not worth 2.
Yep. So I will get 8 points.
How do you feel about that turn?
A little deflated. I honestly, every time I play the Giants, they do tend to roll like this. Like, I needed to make a couple saves over here. It wasn't like you were hitting me that hard. I would have liked to remove like another Blood Knight. So going into this priority, ideally what I'd like to do is force you to take the turn, potentially unbind some of the stuff that you have, like the negatives to rend and all the minuses, but because the zombie dragon is so potent, I really don't feel like if I do get the double that I can give it away.
Alright. Let's see how priority shakes out. It is a tie, so I've got the choice, and given the circumstance, given where things sit now, how many wounds does he have left?
12.
Okay. I am going to definitely go ahead and take the turn here and see what I can get taken off the table. So we're going to be going into the top of round 2, command points reset, and then I will restart with 2, and you're going to have 3. My battle tactic in round 2 is going to be bring it down, and I'm going to select the heavily wounded Gargant there. Hopefully I'll be able to take him down. My heroic action then is going to be heroic recovery on the zombie dragon to try to get him healed back up a little bit. He'd roll under his bravery, I did, so he heals D3, he gets 2 back.
I'm going to do the same. I need to roll under a 7. I did D3 for 3. He's it.
I healed 2, right?
Yeah.
Also, at the start of the hero phase, I'm going to use the friendly wizard that I have within 6 inches of the cogs to change it to be the bonus to charge instead of the bonus to casts.
So the bonus to charge is within 18.
Yes, fully within 18. Alright, going into casting, I'm going to first attempt to cast Levitate with Belladama. That's going off on a 13. Belladama is then going to cast Killing Moon, which should go off on a 7, so that's the exploding 6s. Levitate is on the Blood Knights.
Sure.
Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon is going to cast Flaming Weapons, and he will get it on a 6. The Vampire Lord on Foot is going to cast Mystic Shield, and that's going off on a 6. That's going to be +1 to save on the Blood Knights. Neferata is going to cast her War Scroll spell. That's going off on an 8, also on the Blood Knights, making them immune to rend again.
I'm not letting you use my dice anymore.
Fair.
This is insane.
And then Neferata has 1 cast left, and she's going to do Fading Vigor on the Gatebreaker. It's going to be -1 attacks. That one fails. So overall, pretty successful casting phase. Got most of the things I needed there. I did fail Fading Vigor, which is a big deal, but my Blood Knights are very difficult to shift now. They're on a 2-up unrendable. So I feel really good about that. I am going to use Neferata's command ability to give that bubble of -1 to be hit. First off, I'm going to move the Blood Knights. I'm going to make a normal move with them. Now, normally they'd only be able to move over enemy models of 2 wounds or less, but because of the Levitate spell, they're actually able to move over any enemy models and do their mortal wounds when they do that. So on a 2-up, the Gatebreaker will take D3 mortals. Yes. 2 mortal wounds. And the War Stomper on a 2-up, yes. 1 mortal wound on him. You've got the Shrug on the Gatebreaker.
5.
Okay.
I am going to spend a command point after the movement to move the Gatebreaker.
Sure.
React. Just gonna go 6 inches.
Okay. I'm going to bring the Grave Guard down then to the grave. Gatebreaker retreated a little bit, like the cowardly giant he is. Makes sense. I'm going to see what I can do to maybe. I definitely need to take that one Gargant off the side there, but I'm going to see what I can do to maybe tie up some others and do some damage to some others. And the Blood Knights are really difficult to shift right now, so I feel pretty good about them. Let's get into shooting. The Vampire Lord Zombie Dragon's the only shot I have, and he's only got 1 target. So the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon into the War Stomper has 1 attack. So this kind of has 2 hit rolls. The first one is equal to or less than the number of models in the target unit. So if I roll a 1, nope. And now I rolled a hit on a 3-up, yes. And it is wounding currently on a 2-up. So it wounds at -3.
I'm just gonna go right through.
Okay, d6 damage, 1 damage.
He's at 21.
Okay. Chipping away. And then we can get into charges. I'm going to go ahead and charge first with the Blood Knights. Yep. They've got a 4-inch charge, and they are not currently on a bonus, so they are just going to tie in the Stomper here. I'm then going to attempt a charge with the Grave Guard. They do have the +1 from the cogs, so they're going to need an 8 to get in. And they got at 11, so that becomes a 12. So that was a really big charge there. I'm going to go ahead and make an attempt at a charge with the Vampire Lord as well. She is also at +1. That's a 6. I don't think that'll make it anything. And so that's, let's see, I'm going to try to go in with Neferata as well. She needs a real long one. And that won't make it. Getting the Grave Guard in with that big 12-inch was really consequential there. At the end of charges, I am going to do my monstrous action. I'm going to go ahead and do Titanic Duel from my Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon into your War Stomper there.
I am going to, so I'll go with each of my guys.
Just a reminder, they are immune, and they are immune.
Okay. I'm going to stomp the vampire.
Okay, going for mortal wounds.
Yeah. So this is a 2-up, right?
Yep.
And then D3 for 2.
2, and then 6-ups. Failed them both, so he takes 2. We're then done with charge phase, going into combat phase.
I'm gonna do so. My hurl body does not specify when it occurs, so
Sure.
it's just
Anytime in combat phase. Yeah.
So he is currently +2. If I roll a 4, I will be able to throw one of the Blood Knights. Nope. And then I need to roll a 2. He's at 0 bonuses. He will. He's gonna throw on a 4-up. He'll be able to throw. I'm gonna pick. You can pick any within 3. Is your leader in here?
Yes, he is.
Which one is he?
He's got the axe, the double-handled axe. It's one of yours.
That guy right there.
Yeah.
I'm going to take him, and then I'm going to, on a 4-up, try to toss him at the zombie. Nope, I will not.
All right. I will then activate with the Graveguard first. I am going to spend a command point to give them all-out attack for +1 to hit.
I'm going to give him all-out defense.
Okay, all-out defense on that War Stopper.
Yep.
Puts you down to 2 command points. And then piling in with the Graveguard. Alright, so I'm going to have, the unit champion is dead, but I'm going to have 9 of them going into the Kraken Eater and 10 of them going into the War Stopper. 18 attacks going into the Kraken Eater. So these are on 2s and 4s, and 6s on the hit rolls are going to explode. So into the Kraken Eater. Few misses there, and 4 6s. And then 4s to wound, so I'm going to lose a lot of them.
Looks like about average.
Not as many as you would have liked. So we got 5, 10, 13 at -1. And 3 mortal wounds.
This is going to be 13 vitals. 17. So that will be 16 wounds.
Okay. I like it. And then I've got 20 attacks going into the War Stopper. Again, these are 2s exploding 6s. Just a couple 6s there. And then moving on 4s.
These dice are too hot.
I like it. So that is a total of, what do we got there? 11 at -1. And 2 mortal wounds there.
So this will be 11 force. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Didn't quite get it done. So I am going to fight with him.
Okay.
He is going to put all of his attacks into the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon.
Sure, makes sense.
So his Death Grip will hit on a 3, no minuses, right?
He is natively -1 to hit.
This is going to hit on a 4, but I will reroll once.
Okay.
Nope. Then he has Jump Up and Down, which will also hit on 4s because of the -1. These will be 4s. And then these will be 3s. 1 at -2, right?
1 at 4 up. Make it.
And then he will get the Titanic Boulder Club maxes out at 10. So this will be 10 attacks because of all the.
Sure.
will be hitting on 4 because of the -1. Not bad. And then these will be wounding on 3s. 3 at -2.
3 at -2. Again, our 4-ups. Made 2 of them, failed 1.
2 damage.
Okay, 6-ups. Passed one of those, so it takes 1 damage.
So you took 1 damage that whole time.
That's correct.
That's insane.
My Blood Knights will then pile in. So I've got the commander or the leader of the unit and 2 others. They did charge this turn. I've got 10 attacks on 3s and 3s. That is going to be 5 at -1.
This will be 5 5-ups. 10 damage.
Yep.
He will be at 11.
Okay, and then the mount attacks, just 9 of those. 4s and 4s. That is 2 at no rend.
2 4s.
1 more damage. Your go.
He is going to spend a command point to fight at the top of his bracket.
Sure.
So the Mighty Stomp will be 2 attacks, and I get hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. 3 to 1. Death Grip. This will hit on a 3. And wound on a 2. At -3 run.
This is on the grave card?
Yeah.
Straight through.
D6.
5. 6 up Deathless. Rerolling 1s. So 4 of them dead.
And then the Shipwreck of Club. Because I spent, he will have 8 attacks. These will hit on 3. And then these will wound on 3s. So just 2 at -2 will be 4 damage.
Okay.
6
ups. Made 2 of them. 2 more dead. My activation then?
Yep.
I'm going to activate with the Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon. He's going to swing around just a little bit and then put all of his attacks into this gentleman right here. Try to take him down. Should be able to do it. I am at +1 to hit against him because of the Titanic Duel. So I've got 3 lance attacks. These are going to be hitting on 2s, 6s explode. Wounding on 3s. 2 at -1.
No run, 4-ups.
2 damage apiece.
Was that 3 damage apiece or 2?
2 damage apiece.
We got to roll off for his timber. And you will get to choose which way he falls.
I assume I want him to fall out in the open space here, right? So over here or something. Yeah, this guy can still activate.
So this will be Death Grip. So this will be on 3 up rolling 1s. And then this will be on a 2. Negative, well, you don't care.
I ignore the rend, so I'm on a 2 up. Made.
And then jump up and down. This is 4 attacks. And this will be, actually that shouldn't have gone through, I apologize. This will be hitting on 3s, 3 rolling 1s. Then this will be wounding on 3s.
2 ups. Made 1, failed 1.
D3.
Okay, that is gonna 6 up from the gravesite there. Kill this one.
And then his last will be. He's taking in 12. So he's still in his top bracket, surprisingly. He's going to get 8 attacks. Maybe not 3s. Wounding on 3s. 3.
2 ups. Failed 1.
2 damage.
Okay. 6 ups. Rerolling the 1. Alright, takes 2. And that brings us to the end of the combat phase, right? I did lose a significant number of graveyard there.
And they are -1 bravery.
Okay. 4, 8, 12, 13. I lost 7. And so they're on bravery 9 right now. I don't have a command point, so that doesn't matter. Alright, so the Graveguard, I may lose some of them. I lost 7, and they are currently on bravery 9 because of the Gargant.
Oh, yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Yep.
So I will lose 3 more of them. And then I do have the possibility to bring back 1 unit of skeletons at half strength. I destroyed 1 of your units, so on a 4-up. Nope. Now I did complete my battle tactic there, which was to bring down that mega-gargant, and I finished him off with an attack from a monster, so I get an extra victory point from that. I controlled these 2 objectives, but they're only worth 3 points combined. I do get an extra victory point from killing a monster. That puts me on 7. And then the Vampire Lord, because he killed a model, his hunger will grant him a heal of D3, which is going to heal him 1.
So he's only at 5 taken?
Yes.
And he is what overall?
14.
Alright.
We do each get 1 command point at the start of our hero phase. What's going to be your battle tactic here?
I am going to take Broken Ranks. Pick 1 battle line unit. I'm going to take the dire wolves.
Okay.
And if I wipe them out with a monster, I get an additional 1 point.
Great. Heroic action?
My heroic action is actually going to be Shining Moment for my Kraken Gator.
Sure. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to heal my Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon. Heroic recovery. He fails it though. Roll the 12.
I don't have anything else to do in my hero phase. Into movement, I only have 1 model to move. Into shooting, my Kraken Leader will shoot into these Graveguard.
Sure.
How many command points do I have left?
You are currently on 1. Oh, excuse me, you're currently on 2.
This will be 3 attacks, hitting on 4s.
Let me update my victory points. I got 7.
2, and then wounding on 3s. 1 wound at -1 rend.
-1 rend?
Yep.
6. Nope.
D3.
Oh, D3.
For 1.
6 up. Okay, 1 dead Graveguard.
He will shoot into the wolves. This is just 1 attack. It's going to hit on a 3. And it's going to wound on a 2. -3 rend.
Goes
4
through.
damage.
4 damage. Okay. Did you have the -1 to hit? That didn't matter, right?
It did not.
Okay. 4 damage. 6 ups. Saved 1, so that's going to be 1 dead wolf.
And then a half of another.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt a charge with the Gatebreaker. I think a 5 will get it.
It'll definitely get in.
So on a 2-up, he's going to do d6. No.
At the end of charge phase, we've got monstrous stuff.
Yep.
The Graveyard and Blood Knights are immune, but the Direwolves are not.
We are going to monstrous roar them.
So they cannot benefit from command abilities?
Yeah. In my combat phase, I am going to attempt to hurl body the Blood Knights. I'm still at +2, surprisingly, I'm still in the top category, so I need to roll 4 up. I will, I'm going to pick the guy in the middle.
Sure.
And then on a 4 up, I will be able to hurl him. Yes.
So how much damage?
3.
3?
It's equal to the wound characteristic.
Gotcha. So 3 6-ups, rerolling ones. Saved one of them, so 2 more damage.
And then I'm actually going to fight with the Kraken Eater first.
Sure.
I'm spending 1 so he attacks at his top profile.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So he's going to be +1 to wound and +1 to save. So first it's going to be the Almighty Stomp. This is going to be 2 attacks, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. And then this will be 2s to wound. 2 at -2.
Okay. That goes straight through.
D3 damage. So it's 3.
6s. And rerolling 1s. Okay. 2 dead.
Yep. Death Grip. This will just be 3s. Nope. And then he'll be attacking at the top of the ship. Wreck a club. Okay, so this will be 3s to hit. Jeez, that's a lot of 2s. 2s to win. That's 4 at -2. That's 8 damage.
8 damage. Rerolling the 1s. I will save 2 of them, so 6 more dead. That may be the unit.
2, 3. No, we have 7. But you have, now at this point, you have no command points left, or you have 1?
I've got 1. I will then activate with the Blood Knight. He's got 3 attacks on 3s. All of them hit, and 3s to wound. All of them wound at -1.
These will be 3 5-ups. Maybe 1.
1 damage each.
Yep.
And then the mount attacks. 2 hits, 1 wound, 4 end.
The Gatebreaker is going to attack. He's going to spend all of attack.
Sure.
He is not tabled. He does have 4 wounds.
And they are at -1 to be hit.
So it's just going to cancel each other out, right?
Yep.
So the Almighty Stomp, these will be hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. 3s, rerolling 1s. And then 3s to 1. Nope. This will be 1 attack. Death Grip will be hitting on a 3. No. This is not going exactly according to plan. These will be hitting on 4s. That's better. Wounding on 3s. This will be 1, 2, 3. It's -3 rend.
Okay, they go straight through.
And that's 15 damage.
15 damage. Pretty significant.
but it will not kill them.
6 ups. Didn't make any
Rerolling
of them.
ones?
No, they don't get to reroll once. So 15 damage.
Yep.
I just have a couple cleanup attacks to make. You still have to attack there, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll attack with the Graveguard first then. A brave champion of the cause, hitting on 3s and wounding on 4s. That's it.
He is now slightly tabled. Can I get... I need to get 2 damage through. Can I get 2 damage through, please? Death Grip. This will just be no negatives. Hitting on a 3. No. Vortex. Hitting on 3s for jump up and down, and I do think I get to reroll 1s because it's not a monster. These will be hitting on 3s. And these will be wounding on 3s. 2, doesn't matter.
2 ups, made them both.
And then the Titanic Boulder Club is no longer, it's just +1. So this is the minimum he can have. So he gets 2. He will be hitting on 3s. And wounding on 3.
2 up. Made. The Blood Knight lives. My Direwolf then has his attacks 4s and 4s. Nothing. And I believe that brings us to the end of the combat phase. In the Battle Shock phase, I am almost certain to lose that Graveguard. We'll see here. Yep, he is definitely running. I am going to spend my last command point to keep the Direwolf alive to deny your secondary, your battle tactics.
So I'm going to get 2, 4, 6, 10 points, even though I missed my battle tactic.
Yes.
And now, what I would consider... So now one of these is going to get removed, correct?
Yes, and we can't remove this one, unfortunately. The ones in your territory are considered prime objectives.
But because that's no longer prime.
Correct.
Okay.
This is going to be a real big priority roll here. And I win it. I'm not entirely sure about what to do with it. I guess if I give you the turn, you just score an immense amount of points. And that certainly doesn't seem good for me, so I'm going to take the turn. That does mean that you get to remove an objective.
So I will... Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to remove this one.
Yeah. So then going into the top of round 3, I will get 2 command points to your 3. For my battle tactic, I'm going to select Broken Ranks, and feels a little bit strange to be picking an anti-battle line tactic against you, but I'm going to pick your Kraken Eater, and if he's killed this turn, then I get to complete the battle tactic. If he's killed by a monster, I get an extra point. For my heroic action this turn, I'm going to pick Finest Hour on Neferata, giving her +1 to wound, +1 to save.
I am going to take... I'm going to be a wizard with this gentleman.
Okay, so he's got an option to unbind. Alright, we can go ahead and get into hero phase then. I'm going to set the cogs to give me +1 on my casts, which will apply to Neferata and Volga. Volga is going to attempt to cast Killing Moon. So Killing Moon is going off on a 6 currently.
And that's the exploding 6s?
Yep.
I will allow it.
Okay. She's also going to attempt to cast Lichen Curse. And that fails, and she
D3!
can no longer cast any spells, and she takes D3. She's going to take 1 on a 6-up. She ignores it. Nope. She takes the 1 mortal wound. And that does deny her ability for her last cast. Neferata is going to attempt her War Scroll spell, and that's going off on a 12.
I will allow it.
So she's going to go ahead and put that on herself. She's also going to attempt to cast Mystic Shield. And she failed that to 3. And then she's going to cast Fading Vigor. And that's going off on a 9.
So that reduces attacks by 1.
Correct.
To a minimum of 1, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's fine.
Alright. And that's going to be on your Kraken Eater.
Sure.
The Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon is going to attempt to cast Flaming Weapons. And that's going off on a 5.
That was what I was saving for. Oh!
So that will go off. And then my regular Vampire Lord on foot is just outside of range to benefit from the cogs. So just one spell with her, and she's going to go ahead and try to cast Arcane Bolt. And that fails.
When do you decide what to put the flaming weapon on?
Oh, when I cast it. I always do it on a Skeletal Claws. Just the profile with lots of attacks. Sorry. Neferata is going to use Deathly Invocations on the Direwolves. So they get 2 wounds back, so that it's going to become a unit of 2. Neferata is going to use her command ability to give -1 to hit bubble.
Sure.
And with that, we can go on to movement phase. Alright, on to my shooting phase. The only thing I've got is my Vampire Lord, and he's got 1 shot going into the Kraken Eater. First, it auto hits on a 1, nope, and then hitting on a 3, yes, wounding on a 3, yes, at -3.
That's going to work.
D6, 2 damage. And then I've got some charges to make. First off is going to be Neferata. She's got a 4-inch charge, which is going to be enough based on where she was balanced up there. So she's going to come in just like that. Then I'm going to attempt to charge with the Vampire Lord. 6 inches. Going to attempt to charge with Belladonna as well. 10 inches. And that is going to be it for my charges. Neferata is going to Titanic Duel over here against your War Stomper.
Mm-hmm.
And my Vampire Lord is going to Roar on your Kraken Eater.
Sure. My Kraken Eater will. I'm gonna try to stomp and D3.
3 hit on 6-ups. Failed all those.
She's at heat.
All right.
Then I'll use Titanic Roar.
All right. So you're using Titanic Duel against Neferata. All right. Activating first then with the Zombie Dragon. He's got 3 attacks with the Death Lance. So hitting on 3s with 6s exploding. And wounding on 3s. That's 2 at -2 Ren.
These will be 6-ups. Nope.
And those are 4 damage each on the charge. The Snapping Maw attacks then are hitting on 4s.
2 hits and wounding on 3s. 1 wound at -2.
6 up.
D6 damage. 2 damage on that one. And then he's got 5 claw attacks. These are hitting on 4s. The 6 explodes. And then wounding on 3s. And these are only at -1.
Oh, these are 5 ups. I got it. And this is how many damage each?
3 damage each with the flaming weapons.
Oh, he's just gonna survive. He's at 34.
Sure. Your activation.
I will attack into Belladama.
Okay. Belladama is going to use all-out defense.
Sure. Mega-gargants. So this will be hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. And then wounding on... I'm going to spend my triumph to get +1 with the wound.
Sure.
This will be wounding on 2s. 1 attack. Death grip will be hitting on 3s. Wounding on 1. Unbelievable. These will be hitting on 3s. Wounding on 2s. Unbelievable. -2 round.
2 of them at -2.
Yeah.
With her all-out defense, that puts her on a 5-up.
4 damage.
4 damage total.
I just can't understand how
I'll then
bad.
activate with Neferata.
Sure.
So she is +1 to hit, +1 to wound, +1 to save. Attacking first with Akhmet Har, 5 attacks.
I will spend command ability to give all defense.
Okay. Akhmet Har is 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, hitting on 1s now, but really 2s. All of them hit, wounding on 3s. That is 3 at -1.
3 4-ups. 2 go through.
And they are 1 damage each.
Is it 19?
2 attacks with Akin Saf, hitting on 2s. And wounding on 2s. 1 at -2.
This will be a 5-up.
2 damage.
He's at 21.
6 attacks with the Abyssal Talons, hitting on 3s. And wounding on 2s. That is 3 at -2.
These will be 5-ups.
2 damage each.
He's at 25.
And then the Spectral Claws and Daggers are hitting on 4s. 6s are just 1 mortal wound. And that is 1 wound at no rent.
He's at 26.
Okay.
He's going to have +1 to hit. This is going to be hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s.
She is -1 to hit.
Hitting on 4. Wounding on 2.
Okay.
-3 on
2 up unrendable. Saved it.
And then this is 4 attacks, hitting on 4s. Nope.
Sure.
And then this is 2 attacks, hitting on 4s. Oh, Volga.
Yeah. Very significant attacks over here from Volga. He's got just 1 wound left, right?
Yeah.
Alright, hopefully one of these can get through. She's got 3 attacks with her Time-Worn Scimitar. These are on 3s and 3s. 6s do explode, so that miss becomes a hit. And 3s to wound, 2 at -1.
2 5-ups. No.
D3 damage, yeah, that kills him.
Timber.
Sure.
My lord.
Can I pick a safe point? Yeah, I should be able to pick over here, right? Oops. So at the end of the combat phase, I've got a few things to do. Belladama slayed a model, so she benefits from the hunger. and heals for 2. And then on a 5-up, Neferata's Poison Blade is going to slay this Gargant in a manner of speaking, but it failed to do so. Of course, it wouldn't auto-slay it, but it would be extra damage. So I did slay 1 unit that round, so at the end of the round, I'll roll, and on a 4-up, I'll be able to bring back 1 of my slain units. Failed it. I brought down another Gargant, and so that always feels good, but I'm struggling on the objective game, for sure. So I will get 2 points for the objective I control, and I will get 1 point for killing a monster, and 2 additional points for my secondary, for a total of 5 victory points. And we can head into the bottom of round 3. We each get a command point. First, pick your battle tactic.
Oh, well, I'm going to take the one where I gain control of an objective with a monster. Alright, so Heroic Recovery, I need to roll under a 7. I did D3 for 2. Then I'll be at 24. And
You've got my heroic action to do. I'm
Oh,
going to
yeah,
try
sorry.
a heroic recovery with my Vampire Lord. And I got boxcars again.
into my movement phase. I then will roll my shooting. It'll be +1 to hit. These will be hitting on 2s. And wounding on 2s. -3 run, 4 damage.
4 damage? Okay. Yeah, they're right beside a gravestone, so they'll get their 6-ups. Made 1 of them, so 3 die. 3 damage.
Yep. And then I'll be +1 to charge. Going into charges. Gonna get in 2 up. He's dead. You can just move him.
Well, roll the damage. I do have the 6-up theory.
He took. Okay.
Because it was on a 2-up. Yeah, 6 damage. Yeah.
So I'm gonna get 2 points plus another 6. I'll take 8.
Puts you on a massive lead.
What is the score right now?
26 to 19.
It's not really massive.
It's a pretty big lead. And we'll be going into round 4 then.
Priority. Oof. Come on. There we go.
And it is your choice.
I'm gonna take it.
Sure. So top of round 4, Sons have it.
So I'm going to pick aggressive expansion. I picked 2 objective markers on the battlefield. You complete the battle tactic if you control both battle markers at the end of the turn.
Okay. And you'll pick the 2 you currently control, I assume?
Yes, I will. Heroic, I'm going to attempt heroic recovery. This guy, I need to roll under a 7. Nope.
I'm going to use heroic recovery on my Vamp Lord, on Zombie Dragon.
Yep.
And he just made it this time. I rolled a 10, so he just heals 1. Bad rolls on heroic recovery. At the start of your hero phase, if we're at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to use Rally on the Blood Knights from Neferata.
Sure.
For 1 command point. And they are down 4 models, so any 6s. 1 6, so you get 1 Blood Knight back. So you're spending 1 command point to run 6 inches?
Yeah. That will be my turn.
So 10 victory points, putting you on 36. Let's see, I am behind by 17. I've got 2 scoring opportunities left. Alright, so going into the bottom of round 4, Soulblight are in desperate straits here. We each get 1 command point at the start of the turn. I am going to use their heroic action to give my Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon his heroic moment.
And the Gatebreaker will take a heroic moment as well.
Sure. With as desperate as things are, my battle tactic is going to be Slay the Warlord. I really need to take out this Gatebreaker. If I don't, the game is effectively over anyway. So that's the situation we're in. First off, I'm going to use a command point to attempt to rally back some Blood Knights again. They are missing 3, hoping for 6s. Got 1 6, so that's 1 more Blood Knight. That helps out the cause. Then I'm going to attempt to cast Lichen Curse with Belladama Volt. Going off on a 12, so that's D3 mortals. That's going to be on the Gatebreaker. 3 mortals on the Gatebreaker.
Violence. Staying with the pattern.
The Vampire Lord on foot is going to cast Arcane Bolt. And that's going off on a 7. The Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon is going to try Flaming Weapons. And he gets it on a 5. Belladama is going to attempt to cast Killing Moon. Gets it on a 7. Neferata is going to cast her War Scroll spell. And it's... So she gets that on a 6. She is then going to attempt to cast Fading Vigor. And so that goes off on a 10, and she's going to put that on your War Stomper. And her War Scroll spell she's going to put on the Blood Knights. Sure. And that is all I have in the hero phase. We can go ahead and get into movement. Simple movement phase, just straight in. The ask here is very straightforward. We're looking to kill a giant. So, shooting from the Vampire Lord into the Kraken Eater, into the Gatebreaker rather, auto hits on a 1. Nope. Now hits on a 3, and it fails to hit. Then I'm going to charge first with Belladama. She gets in on a 7. The Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon then is going to charge, and he's in with a 3, just barely. The Vampire Lord on foot is going to charge. Boxcars, very useful. My Blood Knights are going to charge. In on a 3. Much better to get a 3 there than a 2. And Neferata is going to charge in. And with an 11, difficult decision here with Neferata. Alright, Neferata's going this way. So I will, in the charge phase, I will go ahead and use my Neferata is going to roar at your Gatebreaker. Sure. My Vamp Lord is going to use their the Titanic Duel.
Yep. My Gatebreaker will stomp on the Zombie Dragon.
Sure.
And D3.
2 6-ups. Failed both of those. Okay. At the start of the combat phase, then, I'm going to use Arcane Bolt from the Vampire Lord. Bolt. Does 1 mortal wound.
5. Nope.
Okay. 1 more damage. I'll take it. Also, at the start of the combat phase, I'm going to use the Vampire Lord's Orb of Enchantment that I've been holding on to all game. On a 3-up, the Gatebreaker will not be able to fight. The Gatebreaker cannot fight in this phase. Sure. I will then attack first with the Blood Knights, of course.
I will spend all of defense.
Sure.
They're immune. Never mind.
And I will go ahead and spend all out attack on the Blood Knights. So I've got 10 lance attacks, swords and lances. These are currently on 2s and 3s. All of them hit.
Why the answers?
Because of all out attack.
Okay.
And 3s, not as good on the wound roll. That is 4 at -1.
4 5 ups. I'm sorry. It's -1 run. I'm canceling out the -1 run. These are 4 4 ups.
4 ups. 4 damage.
These are at 28.
And then the mount attacks on 3s and 4s. That is 2 at no rend.
3. These are at 29.
Okay, but he survives.
I am going to do the hurl body. No, at 29, I cannot do it. So at 29, death grip. This will hit on freeze. Nope. Jump up and down. This will be hitting on 3s. We're rolling 1s. Jesus Christ. And then moving on 3s. 2 at -2.
They ignore the negative, so they're just going to be on 3 ups. Made one of them.
D3.
Okay. They should be able to be within 12 there. Hopefully. Oh, yeah. So it was 2 damage.
Yep.
6s. Save 1, so 1 damage.
It was 3 damage. I'm sorry.
3 damage.
Yeah,
Okay.
roll 1 more.
One more of those. Okay. 1 more damage. That's indeed that one dead.
And then he has his Titanic Boulder Club, which will be 1. It will be 3 attacks, hitting on 3s and wounding on 3s. For 1 at -2.
3. Made.
Here goes.
Alright, I'll just start rolling through them. We'll do the Vampire Lord first, and I'm going to go ahead and spend a command point so he fights at top profile.
Sure.
So the lance attacks are, I'm currently at +1 hit, +1 wound, and fighting at top profile with the Vampire Lord. And 6s explode. So the lance attacks are on 2s and 2s. That is 2 at -2.
These are going to be 3 5 ups. Nope.
4 damage apiece.
He is now at.
You also have your 5-up shrugs.
Okay. So this is 8 5 ups. Made 2. He's gonna take 6. He's at 14.
Okay. 14 left.
No,
14.
14 total.
Alright. Then the Snapping Maw attacks on 3s and 2s. 2 hits. 2 wounds at -2.
These will be 5 ups.
Okay. And then the sword-like claw attacks, since he's fighting on top profile, he's got 7 of these. These are on 3s and 2s. 6s explode. Ooh, rough. That's 6
I
explode.
have no sympathy for you right now.
2s to wound. All of them wound. They're at -1.
You'll be 4 ups.
And they are 3 damage apiece.
So we'll have 6 5 ups. 2 more go.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he's at 16.
16.
Yeah. He's got 9.
Alright. Neferata has 5 attacks on 2s and 3s with the Ahmed Har. All of them hit. The 6s explode. 3s. That is 6 at -1.
6 4 ups. Made 2 damage.
Just 1 damage each.
4 5 ups. Made 1. 3 more. He's at 19.
Okay. Akin Seth then has 2 attacks at 2s and 3s. Both hit. 1 wound at -2.
This will be a 5 up. Pressed.
Okay. Abyssal Talons, 6 of these. On 4s and 3s, 6s explode. That's a hit. And 3s.
Oh,
Oops.
yeah.
That is 2 at -2.
This will be 2 5-ups. Damage.
2 damage.
2 5-ups. 1 damage. She's at 20.
The spectral claws and daggers, hitting on 5s. The 2 6s are just mortal wounds, and you can no longer stack that with the exploding, so just 2 mortal wounds.
5-ups. He's at 22.
The Belladonna Volga then has her 3 attacks on 3s and 3s. All of them hit. 2 of them wound at -1.
4-ups.
D3 damage. 1.
5.
6 attacks with her wolf. 3 hits. And 2 wounds at no rend.
2 3-ups.
The Vampire Lord has 4 attacks at 3s and 3s. The 6 explodes.
We completely forgot this fucking thing bigger again. I'm sorry.
That is 3 at -1.
3 4-ups. Oh, look.
Okay. D3 each. That is 6 damage.
6 5-ups. Need none. 6 more.
Okay.
He's at 20.
And then at the end of the combat phase on a 5-up. Nope. And not killing him means that there's no way I can win. So
Yeah, you scored.
good game.
Typical Giants game where it feels like you lost the entire effing game. And somehow you win.
Well, ultimately you've still got 1,000 points on the board.
Yeah.
Right? More than, or right at 1,000 points.
With a total of 7 plus 6 wounds left.
Sure. Yeah.
13
It's,
wounds.
I was on the verge a few times of being able to pick off models and couldn't, and each one of those would have been really significant. So,
Yeah.
interesting game. I didn't have just as much damage as I was hoping for. Not getting any of my summons back was a big
Yeah.
deal. Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, the only other strategy I can think of with the Giants is just constantly play like a total coward and just camp objectives and make you come at me and never give you a wound and like never. I mean, I don't know if that works either because then you're always just 100% healthy.
I think the Kragnos list for Giants will potentially fundamentally change how they play. Just because it does give you a means to really put out some damage with at least one of your models. And depending on the rend you're facing, he's not significantly less durable than one of the mega-gargants.
No.
He costs more, certainly, but he puts out a lot more damage.
I mean, I won, but I feel absolutely drained and like I didn't win.
This battle plan, I would say, is probably the best for Giants. Right?
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, especially if you would play a straight Kraken list, it would be insane.
Sure. Even
But-
as it is, just being able to deny me ever getting the 4-point objective is a big deal.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's just like, you said it, I mean, it's like focal points, it's like, back in the old days, focal points, Battle for the Pass, and Border War. I mean, those
Yeah.
were just so good for Giants because you could move stuff out of your own territory.
Yeah. Nice win for Destruction.
Doesn't feel like a nice one. So, like, when you play Giants, this is my experience. I've probably played Giants 4 times now, maybe 5. Every time I've ever played them, I think I've won 4 out of those 5 times. But every time I've ever played them, it's been this, where I'm just shocked, like, that they can't take more off the table. But they're so affected by -1s.
Sure.
They are so affected by you being able to stomp them and not get a command ability off on it. They don't have any spells, so magic is always just going off on their
It's all
faces.
freebies, yeah.
Um,
Neferata probably isn't as good as Manfred in this matchup just because it is so much of a DPS check, but being able to just turn off your rend,
Oh my god. I mean,
so powerful.
turning off rend and giving -1 to hit all over the place is insane.
Yeah.
That, in that way, I feel like this list specifically answers giants. Like, without rend, your Blood Knights were basically unkillable. I got lucky to hurl a body, and I almost got rid of them that one time, but...
The trouble is that me being unkillable doesn't help me at all.
Yeah,
Because I can never win the objective.
There was a couple times I was very frustrated. Like, if I could just take Bella Voga off, I'd win that game much earlier because then that Kraken survives, and I'm still camping that objective. I get to retreat,
Sure.
and it just adds like a whole layer of...
Yeah, the fact that I was 1 wound away from killing him.
Yeah, that's frustrating for you. And it was like, oh, I can get Bella Voga off and just not to be able to do any. I got it close. I think I needed 2 more wounds or something like that.
Something like that. But she had, she was on a 3-up save at that point. And you were tabled down to the bottom.
Yeah.
I had turned off your ability to use command abilities so that you could fight top table. Your giants, which are already not damaged monsters, were in a rough spot there.
So yeah, so what do we think the Kragnos list is? It's Kragnos, 2 Man Crushers, a...
Gatebreaker and a Kraken. Or, excuse me, War Stomper and a Kraken.
and a Kraken.
The only real choice you have in that list is whether you want to run double War Stomper or War Stomper Kraken.
Yeah. And the Kraken in so many... I mean, even just... All he ever had to do was move that 4 inches.
Yeah.
You moved it 1 inch and it was good enough, right? So...
Yeah, because now it used to be that you had to kick it out of your territory, which at least required a medium roll. Now they put the objective right on the border, so you need, 1 inch gets you
1
out.
inch. That's smaller board. I will say that I enjoyed playing 3rd edition this time more than I did last time.
Sure.
Just because the smaller table really felt like it brought us together really quick and got the action going.
Well, and we both, we were both playing mosh pit melee armies, which to some extent we were last time, but we had to move forward. We were both very durable and could move forward. Yeah, good game.
Yeah, fun stuff.
So we do have one more link in the destruction chain and one more link in the factions of Soulblight.
So I have Iron Jaws. What do you have left to bring?
Oh, I thought you had Gits is what I was thinking.
Oh, I have Gits too.
Yeah, there's a couple more. I've still got Legion of Night to bring.
One thing about Gits is I want to bring a ton of stabbers, and I just don't know if that's...
It could
If we
certainly
play
be
on a
entertaining.
weekend, and we have just limitless time,
Let's
I think
do it.
it's good to go. All right.
All right, thanks everybody. Good game.
Ugh.